Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands and welcome to SP Reviews where today we're going to be checking out a track from an act named Tsumiki, No Melon, No Lemon. And this is called a Humanoid's Humanism, Miku original. And if we switch over to here, we're on YouTube. We got My Name is Tsumiki. This is the 6th work. Miku Hatsune, music, lyrics, arrange, mix, movie. Tsumiki illustration, Ueda Tsubasa, with a Twitter link. Well, the Twitter link, so it's fantastic. And we're going to be listening through this track from start till finish. As I understand it is a Vocaloid kind of track we got going on to today. So let's hear it, man. Let's go. Okay, so the vocals are fairly chaotic, aren't they? I like the breakbeat drums though, those are fairly cool. I'm also just going to make sure that this is in HD, because if it's not, that's going to be kind of sad. 720, cool. Oh hell yeah, man, that bass is super funky and I'm loving the chord note groove on the drums. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the piano as well, man. Piano fits in so well with it. It's so energetic and full of life. I dig it. Like, awesome, the flow there. I haven't really heard Vocaloid rapping before. It was so cool how we had that melody there that was programmed into it. The flow, the rhythm of the vocals was sick. And we had a da-da-da-da-da-da kind of a break and flow going into those half note triplets there in that transition there. Oh damn, the production on this track is spectacular. I'm really enjoying listening to this. I have a lot of love for what's being done here with Humanoid's Humanism, the Miku original here. We have several distinct sections. This is a lot more low-key, really slowing it down to contrast well with what we had previously with that verse. I mean, the piano's still there, obviously. You know, it does take it takes a hot minute to become familiar with this kind of music and to sort of understand it. Because a lot of the time when we learn about different types of music, we traditionally are taken aback by some of the strange sounds. And a lot of people are used to it, just a person singing or rapping or even talking. They're not necessarily used to that Vocaloid vibe, the texture to it, the tones. You know, at the same time, I think that the song is good enough that a lot of people who may be unfamiliar with the genre, I think they'll be able to appreciate and learn from this track. So I think that this is really well done and it'll appeal to a lot of people that listen to it. Lovely high melody there, contrasting well with the rest of the elements of the mix. Getting that quarter note groove, driving forward. There, again, the level of the EQing and the processing of the different instruments and their levels of sub bass in the mix. It's spot on. It really is. What a solo section here on that little synthy keyboard bit. It's chaotic, frenetic. Back to verse 2. That there, again, that chaos there, bra, 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 it's unexpected, and because it is unexpected and doesn't really, I mean, it fits well after that surprisingly well after that rapping section we had there, the melodic rap. You wouldn't typically expect it to come after a rapping section, you know, it's just it's almost cacophonous. It's almost noise, but it's structured noise, and it's a great break, a fresh of breath air from what we had before if you were needing that, you know? Okay, we're going to a triplet swing groove. Back into this. Cubase Pro 10, Halion Sonic SE2, Mellow Grand Piano. So they're talking about how they're getting different sounds with the different instruments. Catchy as hell, dude. Oh, we went up that range really well. Key change. Cool. Not really sure if I'm liking how high those vocals got there in the range. It almost became more of a squeal at that point when we went into the really high falsetto. But everything else so far has been fantastic. It's just a subjective, personal thing, you know? Okay, now we got like punkish metal drums going on here. With lots of crash cymbals. Great job. Yeah, no, that was a lot of fun. I know this kind of music is avant-garde. It's definitely not something you'd hear on the mainstream radio stations. It's progressive. It's a new direction for music to be sort of cyber robo oriented. And I'm not going to pretend for a second like this kind of music hasn't been around for a while. I know Hatsune Miku, right? She's been around for like a good decade or so, you know? Like people love her music. And there's other people who do Vocaloid stuff too. It's a popular genre. It's just, you know, I personally haven't received a lot of exposure to it outside of like video games. That said, I've reviewed a bit of Vocaloid stuff during these reviews, and I have generally enjoyed my time with it. Humanoid's Humanism, because this is effectively the review. Sorry, not the review. When it is the review. But this is effectively the conclusion. What do I think the song was about? I mean, there was Japanese for the most part. I mean, like, because I speak English, I can only go with the answer in the dark. The answer in the dark, Humanoid's Humanism. Are they talking about how you have to go into the dark to truly understand what it's like to be human? Is that what they're trying to talk about? Humanism is anthropocentric, but I love it because it's so ironic that everything is as God says, ends at the end. Yeah, because we're talking about, I suppose in this song, how we're all responsible for our own existences, and humanity is about our own choice and our own sort of existence being the main reason, you know? And then everything as God says at the end is, again, saying, no, God is the agent in this. You have agency because of him. Surprisingly deep philosophical stuff being discussed in this track that, if you didn't realize it, may not necessarily sound as intent. Like, you might not necessarily think the song was about that. You know what I mean? You've got a wide range of different genres showcased within here. Obviously the Vocaloid stuff, synth pop, like electro house. There was some rap parts, like melodic rapping, and then just traditional sing, some pop elements. The punk rock drums at the end. Some other progressive elements. There was some swing parts. There were all sorts of types of music within this track. And I think that it showcased maybe all the different angles of ourselves as human beings to showcase how complex we are within our own humanity. If we're going by what Punzo is saying in here, Punzo. And I like the sense of expressing music as a butterfly illustration, says Haru7 Harunana. I kind of think that's cool too. It's nice to hear music that's more original, and I have a lot of love and a lot of joy for that. I think that it's great that people keep trying new things, and Tsumiki No Melon No Lemon has managed to succeed here. I suppose in regards to the vocals, again, I loved the vocal melodies for the first part. I liked how explorative we were with the scales and modes that we used with the song. There weren't as many limits as I was expecting, and I kind of adore it for that. Again, we did experiment with different genres of music, kind of putting in between each other, and to be fair to Tsumiki, to be able to, I mean, this is their 6th work. It's pretty incredible that they're able to do this with just their 6th song. It's a masterstroke in what this type of genre of music is. You know, it's a showcase of their best qualities, and it's a fantastic first impression. You know, again, when I mentioned the pop elements, it's just like if you slowed it down, you could fit a lot of these chord progressions into like pop music and a lot of different other styles of genre of music. What makes it more sort of, I suppose, what it is, not only the tone of the vocals and the way the vocals have been crafted and performed, but also the way that the energy about it, the charisma, the brightness, the sort of the near insanity of it. You know, there were some parts there where things were going very, very, very quick, including that piano solo. That was an incredible piano solo. That was so fluent, and such a great, unexpected little dance that we did among everything else in here. You know, I guess so the vocals were done well. We've kind of had a go at the story. The structure of it was more through composed, I think. We did have choruses. There might have been, well, no, it wasn't through composed. There was a verse, chorus, then an interlude and some different breaks, instrumental breaks. And I mean, this is a 3.5 minute track. I don't actually know how Tsumiki managed to get all of this into this track. I really cannot imagine how they managed to do it. Shout out to Eda Suabasa as well for the illustration work on this video. It's a gorgeous video, by the way. And then like the instrumentation with all the different elements of the synths, drums, we you know, piano parts, everything involved in it, including the vocals, everything came together really well. Lovely, incredible orchestration there. No real complaints. No real complaints at all on my end. The recording, mixing, and mastering, the production side of things was as good as you need it to be for this, and I say that as a massive compliment, because there's 1,000,001 ways where you could screw up a track like this. I think the studio production in this is like professional tier. Like whoever was responsible for mixing and mastering this track, getting all the things working correctly in the stereo field and with the EQing and limiting compression and all that. If they're not getting paid, they should be getting paid a lot of money for the work they've done, because it's incredible. It's incredible today. I admire the production work within the song. To be able to get everything to work so well together is not only a factor from songwriting, but it also comes down to how you get it to sound with it all together like that. You need to glue it together and make it interesting and keep the dynamic range. And that's what we had. So ultimately, I guess this track was a lot deeper than I thought it would be, simply by virtue of listening to the music alone. I like that there is that duality in the Easter egg for people that can understand the language. Maybe that's a common thing amongst this kind of Vocaloid music. It would not surprise me. I know that there's a lot of really intelligent people that make this kind of music, and I really want to listen to more of this. So if you've got any suggestions on any Vocaloid stuff I can hear, please let me know. But effectively, this is my review of Humanoid's Humanism by Miku. No melon, no lemon. Thank you very much for watching this review. If you enjoyed it, please do go show Tsumiki, No Melon, No Lemon some music. Some music? Wow. I was doing so well up until this point. Some love via their various social medias and a YouTube page. Stay cool and stay safe, and please also remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as they need the help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world. Catch you in the next review. Spiderhands out.